me or the fact that they thought their intentions were acceptable. TLDR. I didn't start out as a wild card, and yet the wild card found me. I stopped smoking weed and I feel amazing for about 2 years. I would smoke weed nearly every day. Before work, sometimes on breaks, after work, I would smoke with friends, and usually before bed. I went cold turkey and I couldn't be more happy, even though it's only been a fresh start. Breaking free from weed for nearly 2 years, my daily routine had become synonymous with cannabis use. It didn't matter the time of day. I'd often light up before work, take breaks, and unwind after a long day with friends, and even indulge before bed. Taking a drastic step, I decided to quit cold turkey, and I couldn't be more thrilled with the outcome. Although it's been only a month, I feel an overwhelming sense of relief and accomplishment. My newfound freedom has yielded impressive results. I'm no longer plagued by fatigue. My energy levels have skyrocketed, and my wallet has benefited significantly. The thought of smoking is no longer a recurring obsession in my mind. Gone are the days of craving a quick hit or constantly thinking about when my next opportunity to use would arise. I'm proud to say that I've overcome this addiction, and the feeling of liberation is incredibly empowering. Daughter with T1D. My daughter just turned 4 years old. She is a type 1 diabetic. We had a birthday party for her over the weekend, and after we ate, and we had to give her insulin. Apparently, this irritated my MIL that we gave her an insulin shot in front of everyone who attend. A 4-year-old's reality. My 4-year-old daughter lives with type 1 diabetes, and it's a reality that we've grown accustomed to. Recently, we celebrated her birthday with a party, and like any normal day, her insulin needs to be managed. After we finished eating, the time came to administer her insulin. However, our mother-in-law seemed uncomfortable with the process, specifically the fact that we gave the shot in a public setting. She suggested that we should have taken her to a private area to give her the insulin, as if managing her diabetes was something to be ashamed of. It's truly puzzling to me, especially considering that this is her daughter's life. She's at our home, and the only ones who seemed to be bothered by the situation were my mother-in-law and father-in-law. It's frustrating to see her making a big deal out of something as mundane as managing a child's diabetes. TLDR. A mother-in-law made an issue over giving her granddaughter a type 1 diabetes insulin shot in front of party guests, suggesting it should have been done in a private room. Rebooting. Want help? I never reboot. Currently waiting for this person's PC to reboot. She's having issues connecting to a remote server from home. She's on a VPN and it's taking forever. Server's pinging fine. VPN is set correctly. Then she says, of course it's set correctly, it's. A seemingly endless wait has begun as I patiently await the reboot of this individual's PC. The challenge at hand is her inability to establish a connection to a remote server from her home location, despite utilizing a VPN. A quick diagnostic check reveals that the servers are responding as expected, and the VPN configuration appears to be in order. However, she confidently asserts that the VPN has been operational throughout the night, thereby ruling out any issues in that regard. In an attempt to resolve the issue, I suggest a simple reboot of the PC. It's at this point that she delivers a defiant statement. Rebooting won't fix it. I never reboot my computer, and it runs just fine. As fate would have it, the PC does indeed reboot successfully, and the connectivity issues are resolved. Finally, some customer MC so karma is a bitch, evidently. I say through the drive-thru to a customer making a request. We can only do 2 separate orders, as opposed to the 3 she was asking to make. Don't ask me why this is such a hard and fast rule, but it's on. The unforgiving nature of karma certainly seems to have its way with people at times. I let out a firm but polite message through the drive-thru speaker to a customer who had requested 3 separate orders. We can only accommodate 2 separate orders. The reason behind this rule remains unclear, but it's a strict policy enforced by management. To our surprise, the customer placed her 2 orders and waited patiently. It wasn't until 6 minutes had passed, after she had already paid at the window and received her food, that she suddenly realized her mistake. With a hint of embarrassment, she mentioned that she had forgotten to add a number 5 combo, apologizing profusely for the oversight. And, as they say, karma caught up with her in an instant. Just don't do anything to make her mad and you'll be fine. My dad would say this all the time. I got my mom a Peanuts mug for Christmas because it was her favorite show as a child, and she threw it at my head because she didn't think it was as thoughtful of a gift. My dad's constant advice would echo in my mind. Just keep things calm, and you'll be fine. It was Christmas time, and I had hoped to bring a smile to my mom's face by gifting her a Peanuts mug, a nod to her childhood love for the show. However, her reaction was far from what I expected. She tossed the mug at my head, her anger evident in her actions. I couldn't help but notice how her disappointment with my gift seemed to pale in comparison to the fidget toy I had given my dad. I turned to my dad for guidance, seeking his insight on what I could have done differently to avoid my mom's wrath. His response only left me bewildered. Don't give her a reason to get angry. It seemed like a circular and unhelpful answer. I was left feeling frustrated and bewildered by his advice, a sentiment that boiled over into a more profane sentiment. Library fines for a 5-year-old? I have my grandson several afternoons each week and sometimes go to the library. A while ago the desk person mentioned he could get his own card instead of using mine. I explained that I wasn't the parent and she said that was fine. The conundrum of a child's overdue fines. I've been fortunate enough to spend quality time with my grandson several afternoons a week, often accompanying him on visits to the local library. Recently, the librarian at the desk suggested that my grandson obtain his own library card, as I'm not his parent. I clarified the situation, and she assured me that it wouldn't be a problem. As she began processing his information to create a new card, she discovered that he already had a library card. However, her discovery led to a shocking revelation. He owed a staggering amount of over $700 in unpaid fines. According to my grandson's mother, one of her ex-partners may have unwittingly saddled him with these expenses, failing to return borrowed video games and DVDs. As a result, it raises the question, will my grandson be held accountable for these outstanding debts in the future? AITA cleavage for him. My spouse has a female friend that recently sent him a picture of her cleavage. And she commented, "My boobs are too big. Please note." She doesn't know the difference between 2 and 2. I messaged her and was polite, asking her how she would feel if was I overly harsh to call out her cleavage? My partner has a female friend who recently sent him a picture of her cleavage. In her accompanying message, she commented, "My breasts are too big." It's worth noting that this friend appears to be unaware of the differences between 2 and 2. I sent her a polite message asking how she would feel if someone sent suggestive photos of their partner to her spouse. Her response was extremely negative and defensive. She not only unfriended me but also began speaking poorly about me to my partner. My partner, unfortunately, is someone who can be easily swayed by others, but that's a story for another time. Was I the one who was being unreasonable for calling her out on her behavior? AITA for getting upset at my neighbor and a landscaper for ringing my doorbell at 10 p.m. At 10 p.m. yesterday, my doorbell rang. It ended up waking up my wife and newborn. I answered it expecting an emergency, but it was just a landscaper trying to sell me aerating. I told him am I the a-hole for confronting my neighbor and a landscaper over an inopportune doorbell ringing? Last night at 10 p.m., I got a visit from an unexpected guest. It turned out to be a late-night solicitor trying to peddle his services for lawn aeration. I was understandably disturbed, having been awoken by the doorbell along with my wife and our newborn baby. I voiced my displeasure at the landscaper's ill-timed visit, expressing my disbelief at his audacity in approaching my home so late at night. He seemed unconcerned, proceeding to aerate the lawn of my neighbor instead. When I threatened to contact local bylaws, he took umbrage with my instructions, claiming that I wasn't his supervisor. Was I overreacting, Or was this landscaper's behavior completely unacceptable? Edit. I've added a few details about my newborn baby to put the situation into perspective, as the original story didn't mention it. Update. I'd like to clarify that I'm not trying to be an overbearing homeowner. I just value my right to the quiet enjoyment of my home and expect others to respect that. TLDR. A landscaper rang my doorbell at 10 p.m. Woke up, is this a HIPAA violation? GF in medicine. Sharing hospital photos. So I've been dating this emergency medicine resident since the fall, and she keeps sending me photos of stuff from the hospital. Photos of scans with patients' names on them. Photos of her list of patients with possible HIPAA infraction. Partner in medicine sharing hospital photos. I've been in a relationship with an emergency medicine resident since the fall, and she often sends me images from the hospital. The pictures include scans with identifiable patient information, as well as lists of her patients, which display her name and their names, supposedly to demonstrate how busy she is. Occasionally, she also shares photos and stories about patients who have notable cases. I'm assuming this may not be entirely in line with regulations. Is this a common practice among medical professionals? And how severe is the potential infraction? Caught wife cheating. Affair ongoing at least 6 months. Running on 1 hour of sleep. Found evidence on her phone and she admitted it. She's already talking about making it work. I haven't told anyone yet. This sucks, guys. We've been married 3.5 years, together. A marital infidelity revealed. A devastating discovery has shaken the foundations of my life. At least 6 months of betrayal have left me reeling, with the weight of my exhaustion compounded by the knowledge of my wife's infidelity. The lack of sleep has been wearing me down, but it's nothing compared to the emotional toll this revelation has taken. After uncovering incriminating evidence on her phone, my wife broke the news herself, admitting to the affair. Her words of optimism, suggesting we could make it work, are a stark contrast to my feelings of despair and confusion. With our marriage spanning 3.5 years and a combined 9 years of togetherness, I never could have anticipated this heart-wrenching betrayal. Our recent purchase of a beautiful home, as well as discussions about starting a family, only serve to highlight the magnitude of this tragedy. I'm still grappling with the aftermath, my mind consumed by the question of how to proceed. The uncertainty of my next move weighs heavily on me, as I struggle to decide who to confide in and how to navigate this treacherous terrain. Edit. This post has been edited to maintain a neutral tone and avoid graphic details. Update. No further updates are available. TL. AITA for not waking up a person from a stop. This person is usually extremely rude to me, and borderline harassment. So, yesterday, she was sleeping on the bus. The bus went on her stop, but she was asleep. Then it moved past her stop. Our bus crosses a couple cities, since W. Was I in the wrong for not alerting a rude commuter? This particular person has a history of being extremely abrasive and has crossed the line into harassment towards me. Recently, she fell asleep on the bus. When the bus reached her designated stop, she was still asleep and it continued to the next one. Our bus traverses multiple cities as it passes through suburban areas. Upon waking, she loudly reprimanded me for knowing her stop. Her assertion was that I should have woken her up. My counter-argument is that her behavior towards me has been unacceptable, and her decision to sleep on the bus was her own. I didn't feel obligated to intervene. So, was I in the wrong? My daughter got me with an MC. So, recently, my daughter, 16, and I were having a conversation about a school near where we live. I said they probably have a golf team. She insisted that this school was rural so they don't have a golf team. I would have let it go, but she insists. My 16-year-old daughter outsmarted me with a clever twist. Recently, my daughter and I were discussing a local school near our residence. I mentioned that it likely had a golf team, but she strongly disagreed, insisting that the school's rural location meant it wouldn't have a golf team. I initially let the matter drop, but when she continued to assert her claim, I decided to propose a friendly wager. If she lost, she would have to take on the task of mowing the yard for the entire summer. I verified the information, and to my surprise, she was incorrect. This led to a clever countermove by my daughter. When I instructed her to mow the yard, she pointed out that the summer season didn't officially begin until June 21st and end until September 22nd. Her argument was based on the technical definition of the summer solstice. Edit. This story is about a parent who learned a valuable lesson about being careful with wagers and the importance of considering all possible interpretations of a situation. Update. The parent in the story was impressed by their daughter's resourcefulness and clever use of language, and they decided to call off the wager. TLDR. A parent proposed a friendly wager with their 16-year-old daughter. Sometimes I wish I was a man in my house. I am not even allowed to wear short shirts, not crop tops, but shirts that don't completely cover my butt. In my house, I can't wear skirts, shorts, or even tight clothing. In my house, I must cover my breasts with a scarf.